Welcome to BTS Means FF's disclaimer. This is a complete work of fan fiction. Couldn't have your breakfast before leaving for university. He drawled huskily, and a shiver ran down one's spine as she closed her eyes and took a deep breath, mustering up some courage to face her nightmare. I'm not hungry, Ko, she replied with a fake grin, and he narrowed his eyes, staring her from top to bottom, making her shudder in her place from a far distance. He closed his eyes, twisting his knuckles, while his face was upward as he slightly shook his head as if he is trying to control his inner demons. Have breakfast, or else you're not living. His voice cold and dominant, totally indicating there is no chance of any argument. Not like he'll listen to anyone. When grit her teeth, anger bubbling up in her system. She was tired of his orders and him treating her like his pet. Taking a deep breath, she marched towards the door, but the problem was she had to cross him in the way. But she cared less as she took long steps towards exit, fury and anger radiating from her system. Jung tilted his head towards her, already knowing what's going in the pretty little hearts of hers. When tried to run when she was near him, maintaining a safe distance to pass by his side, but as soon as she took more steps by his side, he effortlessly picked her in a blink, making her to growl in annoyance and frustration. Leave me, Jungkook, she hissed as she tried to scratch his neck with her long acrylic nails, digging her nails deep in his skin. A stain of started dripping from his neck, making her to smirk. But the devil didn't even flinch, nor his face shows he was in pain. The milkman grit her teeth as she took her hands away at the place. Before she again, he held her both hands in his one, pinning her on wall as he pressed her padded figure with his big, muscular frame. We both know your efforts are useless in front of me, kitten, he drawled. One tried to pull away, but he pushed her more on wall by pressing his body with her till they can feel each other's warmth. Now be a good girl and take a deep breath for me. His hand raised from her waist as he cupped her cheeks and creased it with his thumb softly. Yet she closed her eyes as she took a deep to calm her nerves because she was losing her all senses under his power and dominance. Good, take another deep breath for me. His voice was soft, but the dominance in it made her feel weak in knees. She did, as he told her with closed eyes. Let me go, she whispered almost incoherently as he hummed in response, but before she knew, he snuggled, making her to let out a low. Jungkook, lightly throwing her head back as she struggled to escape from his hold, only for him to hold her more firmly. Come on, sweetheart. I think you knew by now all of your struggles are futile in front of me. Hum? He was sport very bite as he hummed in satisfaction to see he make there. Look how pretty you're looking with my on your neck. He drawled, smirking, and her eyes widened in panic as she wanted to try to push away but failed again. What do you want? Leave me, Jungkook, she grits, but it was no less than a mule like a kitten, he chuckles on her words. Why are you ignoring me? He asked in serious tone, ignoring her question, his gaze intense and dark, almost taking her under his spell. One gulps as she bit her lower lip, suddenly feeling nervous and anxious. What? You got some misconception, she chuckles. Why would I ignore you? Really? His fingers trail from her jaw towards her neck, making her to suck in a breath. Don't play games with me, darling. Tell me, what's the problem, or else I'm not leaving you. Her eyes widened. June, listen, I really have an important class to attend today. I'm already late. Please let me go. She almost pleaded. His eyes with closed eyes, and he could step away when immediately massaged her arms. Have breakfast and you can leave. She knew there is no room for her to win against him, as she silently made her way towards dining, accepting her defeat. She hastily eat a toast and take a few gulps of milk as she immediately turned to leave, but only to stop when Jinko called her arm as she groans, looking back towards him. What now? She almost nursed, getting tired of his actions. Sit back and have proper breakfast, baby. He glared at her as she gulped a lump, his dark gaze making her scared as she struggled to decide. Before she came up with the idea or do something to escape, he pulls her, making her to freeze. What are you doing? She stutters, her eyes widen in horror when he leave. Don't act like you have never sit in my before, he murmured huskily near her ear, fanned her, making her shiver on spot as she bit her lower lip. Jim, please, she muttered with closed eyes. Please, what kitten? Stop doing this, she pleaded with shaky voice, eyes slightly glossy, and he grit his teeth, slightly moving away. Eat it. He extended a toast with the omelette or fork towards her mouth and went close her eyes as she took a deep, shaky breath before eating it silently. He slowly made her eat two slices with the omelette and a whole glass of milk, when silently eat it with his hands. It was nothing new. He always made her eat food with his hands, nor the closeness or his tandem was new till 2 weeks ago. One sighs, remembering the memory as she looks towards her wrist watch and turns to leave, but Jungkook follows her behind, making her to frown. I'll drop you on time. Don't worry, baby, he replied, guessing what's going in her mind. But out of nowhere, cheeks almost taking her breath away, but she won't able to do anything except a light nod. He stops the car in front of her university, and she let out a sigh of relief. Finally, she can escape to a place where he's not around or there's no one under the same roof. I didn't forget our earlier encounter, he murmured, breaking the silence, and she gulped a lump, but tired to play dumb. Our encounter, he poked his red cheek, staring towards her while his intimidating gaze was doing nothing other than making her more nervous and scared. The encounter, which includes a mark on your neck, baby. Her fingers unconsciously brushed the spot, which was still lightly, where he gave her cheeks to turn pink. Does anything rings a bell in your memory now, or do we need to see a doctor? She glares him. That smirk on his devilishly handsome face only makes her blush more, as she groans, moving her gaze to other side. Okay, fine, she huffs. Good girl. He patted her head, and one can't describe the feeling she was feeling at the moment. Don't forget you have to answer my questions when you return back home. She immediately nodded and ran outside as soon as she can. Silly girl, he murmured, slightly shaking his head with a chuckle. When you lead again, anatomy professor will both of us today. She muttered as she held one hand and started running one snorts on her words. And where are you late, Miss Mia? Long story, one sighs nodding. Annie's 20-year old medical student, 2 months left in her finals, and then she'll start her internship in hospital for practice before her proper job as a doctor. Tunga stopped its sister. He is 29-year-old Mafia King, madly upset with his adopted sister. Can and take any of this? He's overprotective and extremely possessive of her because of a tragedy that happened to her in a young age, and he swore to always protect her from everything that can harm her, and over time, the protectiveness became obsession, due to which he never let anything happen to her. But now he wants to have her all to himself. Thank God we make it on time today. It was an important lesson. One nods in approval. She observed Wayne closely. What's wrong? Where are you lost? Nothing, just thinking about something. Does that thought involve your mafia brother? She smirks and one eyes pop up on her words as she immediately turned towards her. What? How do you know? No, I mean no, of course not. What would I think about him? She chuckled awkwardly. Nods, munching her food. The on your neck, princess, says other voice. One eyes widen as humility bra hairs in front of her neck. Ming was still smirking, making wise sighs heavily. Come on, spit it out. I know something is bothering you. One sighs, and told everything happens today. She frowns. What's in it except pinning you on wall and giving you reports? I saw him 9 times in front of me and others myself. How one can think he's your boyfriend, by the way, he acts around you. Why she was so blind to see his actions and differentiate between them till now. What they actually meant was nothing like brotherly gestures and caring sibling acts, but it was more than that when groans, looking down. There's more in story, isn't it? She murmurs, reading one's face, and one sighs, slightly nodding in response. Something happened between you two. Do you guys? She squeals, getting up abruptly, her eyes wide, while one must look at him look with a shock as she pulled her back down, unsure. Keep your mouth shut, please, she hissed. Do you really? Before she spoke further, one put her hand in her mouth. No, we didn't. Both let out a sigh and go silent for a few minutes. He confessed. He confessed just waiting for me. He wondered it with closed eyes. What? When? She asked in shock as Wine again pushed her back on chair when she got up. Don't you dare react. Got excited to ask me even a single question before I completed my story. Mia desperately nods her head, eager to know the whole story, and one sighs before telling her everything happened. Jungkook runs towards him, who was slightly, tallly wasted. She held him from bodyguard by wrapping his arm around her neck and take him to couch. What the is wrong with you? What are you too much? She has hissed at her and then smiles. You look so pretty when you act like a mad wife, kitten. He snarls, resting his head on her while her eyes widen. She was totally taken off guard by his sudden words, making her to gulp a lump and slightly pushed him away. Let me take you to your room, he pouts, shaking his head as no. I want to sleep alone, kitten. I want to sleep with you, he murmured, getting up as he moved towards her room. One took a deep breath to calm her nerves as she held him again and starts moving towards her room. One made him sit in bed as she went to take a wet towel to clean his sweaty face, but when she turns, he was already in bed lying with closed eyes. She was wiping his face when he opened his eyes again. What are you doing, kitten? He asks, pouting, and then grins. Oh, acting like my caring wife, he snarls with a giggle. And one choked on air, hearing his words. Come on, sweetheart, sleep with me. I need my wife in my arms to sleep properly. Before she puts a hold around his words, he already pulled her towards him and wrapped his strong muscular arms around her waist and snuggled in her neck. Why are you so addicting, baby? He asked, sniffling her neck. You smell so heavily, love. I just can't get enough of you. With that, he started giving around her neck as she let out a shaky breath with closed eyes. Jungkook, what are you doing? You have no idea how much I'm madly obsessed with you. He singled in her when heart beat was increasing. You don't know how much I'm in love with you. She took a deep breath as she tried to pull away, but he held her firmly. I'm addicted to you, love. Flashback ends. But didn't realize she was too flustered just remembering the whole incident while Mia's mouth hung open. It took her a few minutes to digest all information, and when she did, her breath before grinning like a psycho. He said he's upset with you. Why not? Biting her lower lip. And he also confessed his feelings for you. Why nods again with a gulp of lump. Oh my god, I knew it already, she dripped. The way he acts and be possessive for you, anyone can predict. One sighs with closed eyes. Oh god. He already imagined you as his wife. She smirks and one cheek turns pink. as she put her hand on her mouth. Shut your mouth and stop getting excited like a schoolgirl. He's my brother, Mia scoffs in disbelief. Yeah, who confessed his feelings for you? She snorted. And of course, I'm getting excited, and I'm a schoolgirl. Oh god, your kids look so pretty. One cheek heated up as she glared at her best friend. With doctors, idiot, stop imagining nonsense. She gets out, smacking her head, while Mia glares at her. Wine and Jungkook. Oh my god, even your name looks so good together. Wen was regretting her life decision to tell her everything. Stop it, Mia, that's not possible. He's my brother. She scoffs in disbelief, and I'm ignoring him anyways. Mia was a bro. Adopted brother, she corrected. You're his adopted sister, and there is no blood relation, so of course it's not possible. Why ignore him and how long? No, it's not. And I have been saw him like that way. And moreover, ignoring him till the time he bloodied everything, and that was 3 weeks ago. She interrupted, huffing and me nods. Gotcha. But come on, Wan. You like him too. Maybe you have never seen him like that before, he confessed, but you have noticed after that, didn't you? When bit her lip. Does your heartbeat start getting faster around him? Why not? Does he make you blush? She nods again. Does you have thoughts about him? Why not again in another dilemma? Her eyes widen as she talked on realizing her words. What? Of course not. Mian smirks. You just said yes, kitten. Stop calling me that when huffs in annoyance. Chunga calls you by this name. When cheeks flushed again, confirming her words. Here we are, my dear. You guys know each other better than anyone. In fact, you guys are perfect for each other, and no one can understand you better than each other in each and every way. I know she was right, but it was so wrong at the same time, she says. One was just 10 years old when Jungkook's parents adopted her while he was 16, but his parents passed away when he was just 18. I knew he had been going through a lot after his parents' death. On top of that, he never made her feel alone and always take care of like a mother and father and possessive brother. But you don't know when his feelings start changing for her. When remember once her friends bullied her when she was a child and a group of them beat her for no reason. And he got to know about them harm her and that's why they made to protect her. At the time he never lost those feelings and started to grow more possessive for her. It's been 2 weeks since Wan had been ignoring Jungkook after he forcefully made her eat breakfast and drop her to university and more than a month till he confessed everything. Of course, encounter and he acts the same possessive and obsessive way like he always do, but Wan was ignoring the topic they so desperately need to talk about. He knew, he confessed, and that's why she was being distant. He Mrs. Han when greeted with a smile toward Cook, which she returned politely. May I arrange dinner, ma'am? Wan looked towards the clock, knowing Jungkook could be back home soon, as she chugged down a glass of water. No, let's wait for Jungkook. She nods, but before Wen leaves, Butler comes running towards the kitchen, and Wen eyes widen to see the panic look on his face. Uncle Lee, you okay? Is everything alright? He's anxiously shakes his head yes no. No ma'am, Sir John, Wen eyes widened. What would happen to him? Wen was already in her house running outside. Ma'am, sorry, is not is in medical room and is badly and refusing to let anyone touch him. When grits her teeth as she marched towards medical room. When stumps the door open with a thud, only to see a medical tray with fake pens lying on the floor and a scared nurse standing on a far corner. Mildred, the nurse, was trembling in fear while trying to get close to angry Jungkook. She grits her teeth with closed eyes. I went out, right down, and don't forget to close the door behind. As in cue, everyone marched outside, while Wan gave Jungkook a mad glare who matched her gaze. As soon as the door shut closed, she marched towards him as she took in his appearance and take a sigh of relief. Was this behavior Jungkook or he played dumb? Jungkook, she hissed, glaring him. You will get infection. Why do you care for me? She snarls as she picks all equipment from the floor and put them on shelf. Opening a cabin, she took out new sterile equipment and everything needed and went towards him. She tried to hold his arm, but he snatched it away. She glared at him madly. Why you were not letting them treat you? She grits as she held his arm again and started cleaning, gently yet carefully. Because I don't want anyone to touch me. She laughs on his words. Are you in your senses? They were trying to help you. He tried to snatch his arm, but she held it more firmly while glaring, and he matched his gaze. Don't show me these guys. It's not working on me. She let out a frustrated sigh. Please, Jungkook, you're hurt, she pleaded, and his eyes slightly softened. Let's make a deal, kitten. She half annoyed, but nods. Michael not listen otherwise. As he smirks, and before she knew, he pulled her. Being her to gasp, she held his shirt tightly while stirring him, and he hissed, making her to move her gaze down, only to find she had accidentally pressed in his chest, making it do it again. Her eyes widened in panic. I'm so sorry, Jungkook. She immediately opened his shirt as she examined his whole body carefully. He have got few more on his charts though. As she quickly started bandaging him carefully, while he was just staring her worried and panicked self, while holding her protectively. All done, one size looking towards him as she cupped his cheek and increased it lightly. Is it hurting badly? He immediately nods with a pout as he rested his head on her shoulder. Oh, my baby, she murmured in mocking way, but started grazing his hairs. He smirks, pulling her closer, knowing very well he had finally gotten her all attention all for himself. And a little more exaggerating won't hurt, right? Of course. Why were you ignoring me? I tried to pull away on his words, but he didn't let her move. We'll make a deal, sweetheart. Remember? I'm not, she defended. My pretty liar, he whispered in her ear before. And should money close her eyes, tell me when, please. You're hurting. Let me take you to bed. No planning to tell me. Is it because I confessed my real feelings? My eyes widened, confirming his words, and he chuckled spitefully, getting up. I got it. Thanks for bandage, he murmured coldly, the earlier playfulness long gone, as he started to move towards the door. When bite her lower lip, feeling guilty and anxious because she had seen the sudden light of hope venturing from his eyes, and that clenched her heart. Chung, wait, she yelled, coming towards him. He stopped as she approached him. I am with me. To be continued.